just so hyped for this drop, dog. Like, I had everything set up. I was posting content. I'm like, I'm about to sell out. Like, yeah. I'm in a car. I dropped 0 people on the website, bruh. Not realizing I'm in a building stage. So, it's not likely for that to happen when you're still building people, getting followers, getting email subscribers and stuff like that.
Sometimes you're honestly not even failing. You're just comparing yourself to other people that's winning. So you think, oh, because I haven't done what they've done, I'm a failure. Because I'm not as far as they are, I'm a failure. And that is not the truth. You are just comparing yourself to everyone else.
How are you expected to grow if you are extending your time in all areas? If you're pouring into everybody else's cup, but you're not taking time to self-reflect and focus on what you need to do. The one thing that you got to realize is like problems are gonna come no matter what. Whatever age that you are, you've been on this earth for that many amount of years, and you can continue to push through for the next couple of years to keep moving forward, realizing the lessons within your failure and getting the wisdom from it so that you can move on. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Growing Painz Podcast. We are here. We are in the building. I am here, your very host, Tre'Vion, graphic designer. You feel me? Big CEO. We have Miss Wise. Very talented Wise. Posted on the Shade Room Spiritual Word. Chris Brown.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Chris Brown,
we are here with Jael, official, your favorite couture designer. And behind the camera, we have Zell.
The legendary
Zell.
Yeah.
And then what did Royalty made it do? What did Jael do?
Royalty made it is doing some great things. Yeah. You feel me? We are back. How y'all feeling? Amen. Let's get it. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Okay. So today we are being intentional today.
Definitely.
We're talking about failure because this is growing pain. So we always growing through some pain. You feel me?
Big for sure.
Big pain. But I want y'all to go ahead and comment below. If you're on the audio, go ahead and comment, some things that you want to know.
I'm sorry.
What you tapping? The shoulder
got it.
Because they definitely need to comment.
Oh.
Because
it's like you messed me up off my train of thought for that.
The tap was in agreement.
I'm about to do her pose.
No, she said,
I was not.
Bro, if y'all go back to the one episode, what was that?
Was it even in there though?
No, it wasn't in there. That was my ISO file.
Yeah, that was her ISO file, yeah. Bro, Jada was in one of our episodes.
She was side-eyed.
It was the episode about her going to Tamara Hall show. Yeah, she was sitting there side-eyeing us behind the camera.
No!
That was insane.
Saying we talk too much.
No.
Talk about we talk too much. That is insane.
No, bro. Okay, Zell. Don't they be making... Look.
Jada, don't do that.
Look. I feel like it mainly be Trey. He be wanting the episode to go a lot longer.
It
be time for the episode to end. Look, Zell, right when we did the round table, Trey wanted the episode to go even longer. Talking about, and I just said we're going to do this episode for 30 minutes. And you like, yeah, it got to be 30 minutes. And watch you be the one.
She's really sitting here switching up. Bro, ever since we started, every time we say, oh, we're going to shoot a 30-minute episode, we're going to shoot for 10 minutes for growing topics and make it make sense. Jada want to sit here and give her opinion for 3 hours. And one more thing. And I just want you guys to know that I'm Jael, and you can follow my fashion couture design.
No, because y'all need to add on too.
I be adding on.
I'm a child of God, and I want all beautiful women in my couture fashion. I want to be just like Gucci. Just like Gucci. Just like Gucci.
Better than
Gucci.
Say that.
Like, Jada is really switching up. I don't like that.
I'm just saying, Trey be like, we're going to do it at this time for this time.
Okay, so we better be finished after 30 minutes. This is 1 minute.
Y'all are ghetto. Let's get back to
very, very ghetto. Because I don't like that.
Y'all started talking about my little thing. That just was our regular face.
Okay, Bobby, I'll talk.
Okay, So today we are talking about how to deal with failure. How to deal with failure. How to
as a
deal
young
with
adult.
failure as a young adult.
Yeah.
And what is the mindset that you need to have in order to really be intentional and keep pushing forward no matter what. You feel me? You better grow through your pain.
Go through your pain.
Hallelujah.
Pain. Hallelujah.
Go through your pain.
It's like stay on topic.
Go through your pain.
What is the first point?
Pain. You gonna fail. Yeah. But
Y'all need
go
some
through your
auto-tune.
pain.
Yeah. Okay, but
What is the first point? Please get to the point.
Okay. So the first point is
You don't even know.
I forgot the first point. Okay. Yeah, so the first point is don't let it affect your future decisions. So, I'll say
That was very
not
good.
Jada playing Instagram while I'm talking. I was trying to go to my
I don't know what's going on today.
Okay. I was trying to go to my stuff.
First of all, shots was being thrown at me. Then
can we stay back on topic?
Stay on topic, please. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. So the first thing is don't let it affect your future decisions. So I'll say for me, something I've learned as a clothing brand owner is, you're not always going to have those wins. And also I've had times where I would drop and it wouldn't go nowhere as planned. I mean, I'm so excited to drop and I'm getting 0 sales. Bro, y'all, I promise y'all, I remember one time I was so hyped for this drop, dog. Like, I had everything set up. I was posting content. I'm like, I'm about to sell out. Like, yeah. I'm in a car. I dropped 0 people on the website, bruh.
It's like no money on my card.
No people on my website. Like, I literally cried. I cried, bruh. Because I'm like, dang. Because I was so disappointed. So I've had a lot of times where I would just be so excited to sell out or to get sales, not realizing I'm in a building stage. So, it's not likely for that to happen when you're still building people, getting followers, getting email subscribers and stuff like that. So why are you shaking your head like that?
I'm listening. Go ahead. Please.
Yeah, so I'm realizing now though that even as my brand has grew a lot, I'm realizing like, dang, I still kind of move with that fear of dropping and being disappointed. Like, I do not want to drop and be disappointed. Even now, through all the success God has given me, everything that has happened, all the growth and stuff like that, I still be kind of scared, to the point where I be trying to push stuff off and just be trying to weigh stuff out. But yeah, don't let it affect your future decisions. Just learn from it and just keep moving. Like, when you're doing something, you have to realize, and you feel that fear, think to yourself, like, am I feeling this fear because something has happened in the past? Like, you're in a new time now. I'm pretty sure there's new growth that has happened in between that time. So sometimes I feel like sometimes as humans, like, we project things in the past in our future.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you project in the future, 9 times out of 10, that's going to happen, because as a man thinketh, so he is.
For the brand. Man stand on what they stand on too. For the brand, bro.
So how long did it take you to get through that process?
No, you're good. I feel like now I'm finally now I'm kind of feeling like, okay, the confidence of like people are gonna buy, and even if not, I'm gonna be good either way, Yeah. So I forgot what I was talking about before.
Yeah, even when you, not to take you off subject, but even when you went in person and you had to sell the clothes for the first time, that was like something different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different from selling online.
It's different.
And going in person and having to talk to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I would say like, it's all a mindset thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like being on social media, you're seeing all these brands have so much success when they first start their brand, right? And then it's like now, I'm thinking it's supposed to be the same thing for me. So me just starting a brand and I'm not seeing it. I'm feeling disappointed because I see everybody else, they're 1 month in, they're making $1 million.
Yeah.
But I have to realize that's not the case for everybody. So,
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I learned. And I learned that with failure, you have to use failure as an ingredient to the recipe of your success. You feel me? You really have to pay attention and realize, what am I getting out of this failure that I had? Use it as a lesson, use it for growth, and allow that growth to push you into higher heights. Allow it to push you into different things, because it's ignorance to not use the wisdom that you learned from your failure and not act on and move on in a different tone, in a different energy, in a different space. You have to move to a higher frequency. There's been many times where I failed in business. Prime example, client retention, where I have to literally have great customer service and have to not overpromise, and that way clients can continue to come back and they trust me to put the project in my hands and allow me to execute in the time that they need it by. So that's something that I really had to focus on. You can do client acquisition and market yourself and post all this stuff, but what does the business look like behind the scenes? Is it ghetto? You feel me?
That's so true.
What does it look like behind the scenes? Because you could do all this posting, you could get a couple likes. I could easily post on TikTok and show all of the work that I do and all of the work, people that I work with and different things of that nature. But what does the business look like behind the scenes? What does my life look like behind the scenes? What are my patterns in life behind the scenes? Because it's going to overflow into whatever I do. Whatever I put my hands on, that's what will overflow. Those habits that I have, it will continue to overflow in different areas, because you have to change for a different result. You have to become a whole new person in order to get to where you need to be. You can't continue to do the same thing, try the same route, and expect a different result. It's not going to work that way. You feel me?
Because we're the input to our business's output.
Yeah.
For sure.
So who we are is going to reflect the output we get in our business.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. What y'all made me think about is basically your failures, they expose what you need to change. So for Yanni, you said that you did a launch and you got no sales. That failure exposed what you needed to change. So how you bounce back from that, now you spend time building a community.
Exactly.
You've built an Instagram to how many thousands of followers?
40-something thousand.
Yes, exactly. So you've built a community. And now when you drop, you know that you can make sales. You have also used your failures to expose, okay, I need to change in this area.
Yeah.
What are you doing now? You're delegating more.
Yeah.
You're hiring out more. You're going to you're looking for more wisdom, more help. You're trying to see, how do I need to change? And so I think that's like a great way we can use our failures.
Good.
Yeah,
like
because
sure.
listen, when you keep going through the same pattern, but this is something that you want to do, it starts to feel like you're living the same exact day over and over. So as I'm continuing to have problems with, okay, clients, they love the work, they love who I am and the person that I am, but they just need me to keep my word in things, and they need me to deliver in the time that I say I will. So now it's like, I'm at a point where it's like, all right, who can I hire? I got the bread. How could we delegate? How could we put this into a different position? Even with what you said about, Yanni having community. Like, Yanni has a strong community now, and like people show up for you. You feel me?
For sure.
And that's a blessing. So we all have used our failures in order to really move and grow into a new space, for real.
No, definitely. And that brings me into my first point, because one of the things that I thought about when I was thinking about, okay, what's a way that you could handle failure? I know sometimes we could fail at the same thing multiple times. So you can continue to fail and do that same thing, make that same mistake over and over and over. And so one thing I put down was, if you repeatedly fail in the same way, get some accountability in that thing. So if you can continue to fail in your business in the same way, then go and find a business coach. If you continue to fail at a certain internal growth that you're working on, go to a therapist. Like, if you continue to struggle with, if you still got daddy issues, or if you still got relationship issues, or whatever the case may be, you could go to a therapist if you keep having failures in those same areas. If you're still struggling and failing at getting results in the gym, well then maybe you don't actually know what you're doing. So maybe it means, okay, let me go and get a trainer or whatever the case may be. So I feel like that's one way we can like bounce back from our failures is if you keep failing the same way over and over and over, then go and get some accountability in that thing.
like that.
Hey y'all, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
Hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GPCREW to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're going to get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all heard The Sound of Blackness, but that's a song that really motivates me. You have to really have undeniable faith and get into a space where nothing can knock you off your pivot or your stance of where you are. You know, like it's gonna like it's bound for failure to happen. It's like if a fighter fights in the ring and they win every single match, when they have that one game or fight that they lose, they're gonna feel it hard because it's to a point where I've never experienced this before. But if you have failure and then you begin to live in your success and begin to attain the things that you want over time, then you start to now live in a point where you know where you've been and you know where you're going. You feel me? So that's really something that I learned is like failure is going to come, and it's better for me to fail multiple times rather than just keep winning every time.
Yes. Yeah. And to add on to that, so one of the first books I read when I started reading was Think and Grow Rich, the Black version. It's called The Black Choice. And they said that the difference between successful people and failures is that we all go through life. We all face hard times. We all go through the same things, if not worse, or whatever the case may be. It even mentioned in the book that people who are successful actually sometimes go through worse things than failures. But they said the difference is that successful people keep pushing through. They keep pushing past those hard times. And so I feel like that's like the difference. And then also I do feel like we have to just keep failing. Like you said, I think that should be the goal. Yeah. Fail, like literally fail now. Get it out the way, because the more you fail, you have to understand that you're actually propelling forward because of those failures. You're actually getting so much closer to your success because you're getting all those failures out the way. So it's like, you might as well do it now, especially while you're young. You know, we have an audience of really young people. It's best for us to fail right now because when you start getting 30, 35 and things like that, it's a lot more riskier and it can be a lot scarier to fail then. So just get all those failures out now.
Exactly.
Shoot, we failed on the podcast multiple times.
Right.
Yeah.
We had episode like 33 now.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah. But I like what y'all were saying. It's something that was coming to my mind is something David has said before. And he was saying how failures make for a good story. Like you don't watch a movie that's just all good. You know, it has to be some type of plot in there. And then I was also thinking, nothing in this life is perfect. Like, why do we expect what we do to be so perfect? It's not going to be perfect, bro. You're going to mess up. Like, imagine if a baby is learning how to walk and they fall. What if that baby says, I'm never walking again, bro? Then they going to crawl for the rest of their life? No, they're going to get back up and try and try and try. And it's having childlike faith, you know? And I feel like that's something we should do is when we fail, don't let that keep us down. Like, just try again. Like, it's life, bro. We have, and like you were saying, we're young, bro. We have so much life ahead of us, Lord willing. Like, just get back up. And you don't know what you're missing out on by letting your failures keep you where you are. You don't know how much more experience. I mean, regardless, bro, I heard before that millionaires or billionaires go bankrupt 2 to 3 times before they become billionaires. And so it's just like, it's bound to happen. Failure is bound to happen. But the only way you truly fail is by staying there. That's if it's a failure. If you get back up again, that's not a failure. That's just a lesson you've learned, which takes me into that flag. Turn your failures into lessons. Like the story I was telling y'all of me and my bad experience of drops. Like, I take it as a lesson now. Like Jada was saying, it shows you where you need to work on. I said, boom, okay, I'm dropping, and nobody's buying. So what does that tell my mind? Build a community so you have people that can buy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took it as a lesson. If you're failing, just say, okay, I failed. Why did I fail? So that moving forward, I don't have to fail again. I take the lesson, move forward so that you don't have to keep failing, like Trey said, because else is going to keep going. You're going to keep failing. That's how it was for me. I kept dropping, nobody bought, kept dropping, nobody bought, and I stopped. I learned the lesson, built a community, did it again, and I dropped, and I've been having more and more progress every time I drop. Yeah. So, take it as a lesson.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wanted to add on to that. So, when it comes to, like, your lessons and things like that, I feel like you should look for the lesson immediately. Like, that's something that my mom taught me early on, was as soon as you go through something really hard, immediately get your notebook and write out, what could I have done better? Because sometimes we may wait to find the lesson, or it may be like a year or just months that pass and be like, oh, maybe I should have did that. But my mom has always taught me, like, as soon as you realize, oh, something has went completely opposite of how I expected it to, then you need to sit there and think, okay, what could I have done better? And so I do that, like, with relationships. If a relationship fails, I'm even when I'm sad and crying, I wipe my tears and it's like, okay, what could have went better? If
you have improved and where
exactly. What happened? And honestly, if it has to do with people, I honestly make it more about myself, not the other person.
Ooh,
and so it's like, what could I have done better? So if it deals with people, I'll do that. If it deals with like my business, when I used to do prom season, immediately after every prom season, I'm writing down, because I had my failures during that time. I'm writing, okay, what could I have done better? And so that way you're automatically finding the lesson, and it also helps you to refocus towards the future instead of being stuck on the fact that, oh, I just failed in this way, you know?
And I literally have a quick example. There's been, even in the Bible, how you said take the lesson quick. The Israelites went in the wilderness. It's the Israelites, right? Mm-hmm. When they left Egypt, they went inside the wilderness. And God didn't intend for them to be in the wilderness for as long as they were, but they ended up being in there for like 40 years. And God intended them for it to only be like 4 months or 4 years or something like that.
40 days?
40 days. Yeah, exactly. But they ended up being there. Some of them didn't even make it out. Some of them ended up dying in the wilderness. They never made it out. And I feel like it can go hand in hand with failures.
Yeah.
Like, that failure is a wilderness season. Mm-hmm. So what lesson can you, and literally the promised land for the Israelites was ready for them, but they never made it there because they never learned the lesson in the wilderness and made it out to make it to the promised land. And that's how it is with failures. After you fail, what can you learn so you can make it out that wilderness season and go into the promised land? Because the promised land is ready for you. It's right after that failure because you learned your lesson. I feel like it elevates you. So yeah.
That reminds me of my story of the reason what took me so long to really figure this thing out I started recently having visions of times where I could have been prevented my lack in time management, my lack in communication. In high school, I was, in hindsight, envisioning myself sitting in my classroom with the teachers that were trying to help us improve on certain things that we need to improve on in the world. And I remember telling them, I lack time management, I lack communication, all of these things that have now blown it up into something bigger as I've gotten older. And now it's like you said, of how you can be in the same cycle where you're constantly going and you're not taking time to stop in your tracks. It's like a car that's moving and the brakes aren't there because you're just moving. And so that's what took me so long to really stop failing in business and stop failing and letting people down in different things, is because I was constantly working, constantly not saying no, constantly being a yes man and people pleasing and wanting to have access to everybody. But the thing is, you can't have access to everybody. One thing that I learned is, how are you expected to grow if you are extending your time in all areas? If you're pouring into everybody else's cup, but you're not taking time to self-reflect and focus on what you need to do. The one thing that you got to realize is, like, problems are gonna come no matter what, whether you got $1 million or whether you got $0 in your pocket. You gonna have problems no matter what, because it's inevitable. Whether it's a big or small problem, it may not be a finance problem, but it may be a physical problem. It may not be a physical problem, but it's going to be a mental problem. It may not be a mental problem, but it may be a spiritual warfare. You feel me? So whatever it is, you just have to know that you can go through with it. You can continue moving forward because there's nothing that can stop you. You've been here at this moment. Whatever age that you are, you've been on this earth for that many amount of years, and you can continue to push through for the next couple of years to keep moving forward, to keep realizing the lessons within your failure and getting the wisdom from it so that you can move on.
That's good.
That's really good.
That's definitely something that I had to like really think about, because like, okay, we could continue to keep going through the same thing, but if I want to grow, what do I need to do in order to grow? And so I had to realize I have to say no now. I have to reflect on myself. I have to continue to seek for change and seek the people. As you mentioned, if you like are in fitness, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I need a trainer now. Maybe I don't know how to manage my finances. I can get a financial advisor or different things like that. Maybe I don't know where to invest my money, so I can find a person who can help me invest into things because they're an investor themselves. So it's like different things like that.
Nah, for sure.
That was my second point. The problems will occur,
Yeah. So I would say my next thing would be if you feel like you have failed, if you feel like you have failed or even look at yourself as a failure, I would say surround yourself with winners. So that could look different ways. One, that could be inspiration, right? So I would say going and studying other people who are the blueprint in your field, right? Study how did these other people win? How did these other people overcome? If I want to be a household name, I should be studying the blueprint of other household names. I should be surrounding myself with that, like mentally, in my environment, studying that. Also, surround yourself with winners who are like as friends, If you are around people who are constantly winning, your failures are not even going to affect you as much, because it's this thing I hear in church sometimes, as far as like, if you see your friend or somebody that you are close to is being blessed, you should be happy, because that means God is nearby.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you are about to get blessed next. So if you are around people who constantly fail, but they stay in this low place, then y'all are just going to be a bunch of failures.
Yeah.
So you need to get some friends who are winners. You need to get around some people who are doing better than you, who are accomplishing more than you, who's making more money than you, who's making more moves than you. And that, I feel like, will help you. I feel like it'll inspire you. Yeah. It'll push you. And so I feel like that would be my second point.
I like that, because you are who you hang around with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I want to say, like, not everybody is around or have people that's around them in real life that are like-minded, because that's how it was for me when I was first getting into entrepreneurship. I didn't have a lot of people in my like nearby, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I would say something that has helped me and dang near got me where I am now is, if you can't be around them, listen to them, watch them, like, you know what I'm saying? Watch Jim Rohn and Myron Golden and
Brown.
Yeah, Les Brown. Watch these people on YouTube and follow them on Instagram, and unfollow the losers on your Instagram. Unsubscribe on
not the losers. She's like, y'all are all losers. I don't know about you. No. I'm a winner. That is by my side.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Don't be putting my words right now. Anyway,
she said, I'm following the losers right now.
Bro, y'all know what I'm saying. People, let me finish my point, because it's about to be 30 minutes. What I'm saying is, unfollow people on Instagram that you follow who are not doing the things that you want to do. Like, if you're following people on Instagram, subscribe to people on YouTube that are doing stuff that you're trying to break away from. If you are doing that, then that's what I'm saying.
Unfollow the non-winners.
Unfollow them losers, please. They are not Yanni.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Say nah, but no, for real. Let me wipe these tears out my eyes so it could be a clip.
Honestly, you know what's flashing in my head?
What?
When she said the losers, I'm thinking of that SpongeBob episode where it was like loser.
Loser.
She said loser with so much passion,
Yes.
bro. She said, unfollow those losers.
Follow those losers. Now,
No, that made me feel bad.
Ooh.
That made me feel bad.
Oh, God. She felt that one.
Next point, bro.
look,
Boom.
just know if Yanni follow you, you ain't a loser.
You're not
Period.
a loser. Big W.
Yeah.
Not me throwing up signs.
Like,
Watch me throw.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, real quick. I wanted to add to what you were saying because this is a prime example. A lot of people, they get envious of their friends when they're winning, not realizing that you win when I win, you win. When you win, I win. And it goes vice versa. And it keeps going back and forth. So when you up, I'm up. Not you're up. It's we're up. You feel me?
Yes.
We keep going up. We're going to keep elevating. When Yanni wins and get posted on the Shade Room and Spiritual Word and by Chris Brown, I know that I'm right there. It's attainable for me to achieve that too. When Jada's on Tamron Hall's show, I know that I can get on the show as well. When we're working with different people and we're able to reach out to people and they know who we are and stuff, we all know we have the same amount of access and the same ability to win. You feel me? So it's like, just because this person is winning doesn't mean that it's my time, and that's where you lose focus, and that's where you're gonna fall off track worrying about what the next person is doing, what the next person is winning. When your time comes, go all out. But until your time comes, cheer people on, clap for people. Don't be envious or emotional because you're not winning. That's hate, being a hater.
There is so much abundance in this world. Like, there is no reason to hate on somebody for winning.
Yeah.
Because it's enough success for all of us to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it, I'm looking at it inspiration. You do it, that just means I could do it too. That,
Right.
That's not
Exactly.
you win is taken away from me.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. And I'll say one thing that I've noticed, especially like people in their mid-20s, well, this happens with people of all ages, but I know specifically for people I've talked to, sometimes you're honestly not even failing. You're just comparing yourself to other people that's winning. So you think, oh, because I haven't done what they've done, I'm a failure. Because I'm not as far as they are, I'm a failure. And that is not the truth. You probably haven't even failed in the way that you think you have. You were just comparing yourself to everyone else.
Ooh,
Comparison is the thief of joy.
definitely the deep. The deep. My bad. I'm looking for this
The what?
episode.
The thief.
The deep.
The thief of the night.
Bruh. No, what I was gonna say is the episode we did, How to Shine in Any Room. I feel as though that episode is really impactful.
Yeah.
So
Go watch it.
if you are, insecure, you have anything that you feel envious of because somebody else winning, you need to go ahead and watch that.
watch
You
it
need to
right
run
now.
this back.
After this video, go
You
watch
need to
it.
cleanse your spirit and heal. Please. Ain't no way that you hating on my brother and sisters. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
And so that's all we got, man.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
We hit on 30 on the dot.
Why is Jada cracking up? She about to fall out.
All I heard was,
And then she sit here looking at me with her eyes wide open, bro. Hey,
I'm proud of you, Trey.
I'm proud of us.
we did good. We're doing good.
We're doing great. Amazing. Impeccable.
Praise God.
All right, so now we are getting into Make It Make Sense, where we make it make sense for young adults who are going through life and growing through life. You
Why
feel
is
me?
your eyes like
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me, sweetheart. Keep it rolling. Jada, please read the question.
So yes, we got some advice today. So somebody asked,
Okay.
well, we got
Technically, you're supposed to be reading a question, then give the advice. Go ahead.
it's the same thing. We got some advice for this question that I'm about to read.
Okay.
So somebody wanted to know, what are some tips for people on how to use your voice and how to get more comfortable with speaking? And so I thought that was a really cool question, especially because I feel like I'm just now getting comfortable with speaking. And it was honestly because of this podcast.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Because I'll say something that has really helped me. Like, I'll say, for an example, when I first started my YouTube, I would record and I'm messing up. I'm trying over and over. I'm trying to record. I keep messing up. I'm saying I'm gonna just clip that out. I'm gonna just clip that out. I'm stuttering. I'm messing up.
It's like, what's good, y'all? Wait.
Yeah,
What's good, y'all? Wait.
Y'all, when we first started, we had so many like try agains and just redos and stuff like that. But I'll say something that's really helped me is stretching myself. Like me doing those YouTube videos prepared me for doing this podcast. And now this podcast is going to prepare me to use my voice on stage. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say, how can you stretch yourself where it's forcing you to use your voice? It's forcing you to listen. It's forcing you to hear. How do you talk? How do you use your words? How do you communicate? How do you know what I'm saying? It's forcing you. So now you have no choice but to get comfortable. That's something that's helped me stretching myself.
Yeah,
I feel like for me, it would have to be, okay, so I used to do YouTube too. I maybe did it for 8 months or so. Not super long, but I'd had the same issues. And I think what honestly has helped me with using my voice and getting comfortable is the fact that when we record straight through. It is no, really, we get to start over. Because I've technically, by the time I got comfortable with speaking, it was a lot less time than 8 months. And I think it's because I got in the habit of, we're creating content to where we can't just be like, I've been recording for 10 minutes and I messed up. Let me start over or something like that. So it's forcing me to have to push through. So that's just like how if you're doing a speech on stage, you have to push through. So I think that is why. So I would say, if you are creating content, or even if you have to do a speaking engagement, or you have to do an interview, or whatever the case may be, get comfortable just talking straight through. Don't stop the camera. Just keep going. Don't start over. Yeah. Just literally keep going. That is what's going.
You just messed up right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
That is something that's going to help you, because otherwise, if every time you record something, you'd be like, oh shoot, I messed up. Let me start over. When you get on a stage, you're going to freeze up, and it's like you don't get that same grace or that same opportunity to be like, oh yeah, let me start over.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was gonna say real quick, I'm thinking about the time Dave stretched us and made us talk on stage. Remember? At first, me and Jada did. That was our first speaking engagement ever. And on site, David said, "Y'all wanna host?" I was like, "No," but Dave said, "No, y'all gonna do it." And me and Jada both did it, and I feel like that stretched us, got us uncomfortable.
Nah, for sure. I've also been on YouTube. We all have, and that's why I believe that YouTube low key prepared us for this, because.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially me, I'd be making all these different accents and stuff like that. So sometimes I may slip up and say a little something that don't make sense. I'm sorry. But you got to deal with it. And so you got to keep going. You can't be embarrassed about stuttering or choking up on something, pause. That was immature, but you got to keep going. And when you're going, you have to pace yourself. A lot of times we have that anxiousness feeling, and we feel so tense, and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta keep rushing, I gotta rush, I gotta get everything out that I want to say. But it's like, slow down and pace yourself. Tone your voice. Think about what you're gonna say before you say it. What are the clear points that you want to make as you're speaking? And have grace. You could take pauses. You don't have to get everything out all at one time. One thing I used to do with YouTube videos, same thing. Hey, what's good, y'all? Oh wait, I didn't like how I said it. Let me sit up and say it a different way. Hey, what's good, y'all? And keep doing it. And then I would have 20 videos in my phone or on my camera of me saying the same thing. And then I'll delete, I would say 18
Sometimes
of them.
you
and
realize
keep
the first
a few.
one isn't even bad.
Exactly. And I would keep a few of them, not realizing, oh snap, the first one was good. Or what I would do is keep a few of them and then try to combine all of the best parts that I thought were good. And now it just sounds choppy. It sounds animated. And like Jada said, you're going to be on stage and you're going to sound as if you're being edited. You feel me? Right. And so you really have to pay attention and realize all right, cool. I can keep going. And the last thing I'll say is with what Dave had taught me earlier this year was give yourself a certain amount of time for how many takes you're going to do. And I've seen Dave do it in person. He's done an ad and he'll only give himself at least 4 tries. After that 4th try, whatever he did, that's what's getting posted. He can't go back because you can't waste time. You're going to keep filming the same thing when you could have already shot multiple pieces of content. So be and know that your voice is good. Like that's something I used to be so insecure about my voice and not like it. And when people play my YouTube videos, I don't want to hear it. But I know my voice has power. I know my voice has value. And I know that when I speak into this mic, I know that it's producing something. It's birthing something into this world. So that's how I feel.
Yeah. I was going to say real quick, I realized for me, all those mistakes and stutters and all that, it was just me in my head too much. And sometimes that's really all it is we be in our head too much. And like you said, it can be like maybe you're insecure about something, but it's because you're in your head about what you're insecure about. But then you realize, like you said, my voice has power. Like, your voice can speak life. Use the voice God gave you. Some people don't even have aren't even able to talk, you know? So if you're able to talk, be happy that, be grateful that, I have this voice, and then also stretch yourself, like we said.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say is I think doing shorter content also helps, and then listening to your replays. Because when you listen to your replays, you're able to hear, oh, this is how I talk. These are things I need to work on. You're able to hear, oh, I say like too much. Oh, I say littlely. Like, you're able to hear all of these different things. And I'll say, even when we started doing our 5-minute Mondays, which y'all should go watch.
Go get her Mondays.
Yes, go get her Mondays. Go listen to them.
Very rude.
But I did the plug wrong. But even when we started doing Go Get Her Mondays, because we're creating shorter content, like that 5-minute segment, I had to be more intentional about what I was saying. I had to think about it more. And so that made me say likes and ums a lot less and things like that. So I would say probably even practice doing shorter content instead of doing 15-minute content. Maybe do 3 to 5 minute content until you're able to speak and feel more comfortable and confident. So,
and if you're not a content creator, you can record yourself. You don't have to post it, but I still recommend recording yourself, watching how you talk, and just practice public speaking in front of your phone, talking, recording it, and then playing it back. And each time you do it, say, okay, I can improve this. I can improve this. I can improve this.
Yep.
But yeah,
I be pulling the Jada.
It's like, don't do that. It was not that bad, y'all.
All right. So that was the end of this episode. We hope that made sense to you. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel, man, and comment down below what you learned so far from this episode.
Yes.
You feel me? Let them know where they can find the audio.
Make sure y'all, social media. Follow us on Instagram, Growing Painz Pod. Okay, our Instagram followers have been going up, so don't miss out on the content we post there. And then follow us on TikTok, Growing Painz Podcast. Don't forget the Z. And then stream on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Growing Painz Podcast.
We out.
Bye, y'all.
Let's get it.